What up, YouTube? Timmers here. Now, here is my recap of the recent episode of Chucky, which is of course episode four, season one, episode four, which is literally which I gotta say this episode of Chucky, which is titled Just Let Go, was I mean this show is getting better and better with each episode. I mean, of course, this is coming off of, if you remember the last episode, Chucky pretty much burned down Lexi's house, tried to kill Lexi. I mean, how did Lexi not die is still beyond me. I mean, my assumption is that that annoying girl is gonna be seen throughout the whole episode, the whole season. So you might want to get used to her, okay? But anyway, now of course, this is where Jake does go to the hospital, and he even sees Oliver's parents, who are of course sad to find out that their son actually did die. But the thing is, they actually find out that Oliver literally died of stab wounds. Not, like I literally thought that they were gonna say that Oliver died in the fire and everything. Nope. They of course did an autopsy, and it pretty much turns out that they did find out that he died of multiple stab wounds, and obviously, the detective here, who is of course Devon's mother, she is pretty much questioning Jake about the incident because every time there's murders around, Jake pretty much murder seems to follow Jake everywhere he goes. But anyway, so of course at the hospital, Jake ends up encountering Lexi, who pretty much tells her what happened. Tells Lexi what happened, and he literally went ahead and just straight up, pretty much admitted that he did went ahead and wanted Lexi dead. So I'm like, Jake, you really had to tell her the whole truth about that, really, buddy? But anyway, and so of course Jake and Lexi, because Lexi wants to tell her parents about everything, but if you know, but as we've seen in the past, if someone finds out that if someone tells someone that it was Chucky all along, they'll put him in a psycho bin, a la Annie's mom. So pretty much Lexi has no one else to tell, but pretty much had to go to Jake and her go to Lexi's house, and and that is of course where we pretty much and of course, that's where we of course see Chucky back because Lexi on almost ends up falling down, and Jake ends up grabbing her, and Chucky just comes out full on Two Face mode, literally totally looks like Two Face. All right, but anyway, so of course he comes out of the shadows, and he pretty much tries to tell Jake to let go. And I love Chucky's little line here of one less Karen to get rid of. Well, yeah, it was one Karen on training wheels. Perfect, best Chucky line there. Karen on training wheels. That's pretty much what Lexi is, really. You know, but of course, Jake ends up telling Chucky that he's not like him, so he does. So Jake just goes ahead and pretty much lets bring Lexi up, and so of course Chucky tries to stab at Lexi, but he can't obviously reach her or anything because she's way too high. So yeah, and of course the detective that we do see in I believe episode two, if I'm not mistaken, he of course ends up taking the Chucky doll because Lexi's sister Caroline, who's actually in the hospital. Their parents, pretty much requested the Chucky doll. Is brought to the hospital. So of course, Jake and Lexi are trying to tell him don't do that, but of course, obviously he's not gonna believe him or anything like that. So, and obviously they're also in the cop car with the police detective, which by the way, I don't know why, but this officer totally reminds me of Norris from the first Child's Play. I don't know why, but he really reminds me of Detective Norris a little. I don't know if maybe they gone because he looks similar to Detective Norris. I mean, how cool would it be if it turns out that this detective is actually related to Norris? That would be cool. But anyway, and of course I like how the detective is in the is of course in the hospital with Caroline, and he's like just eating some stuff. I'm like, yeah, that's probably good. That will definitely be me. But anyway, and so of course, Chucky throws like this, this nail at the detective, and so he pretty much. I mean, I love the little line he says, to the detective saying, "I'm sorry, I just can't stand hearing you speak for much longer." Then he just takes both knives, not knives, both like loads of needles, and just starts stabbing this dude. I'm like, oh yeah. And of course, he ends up dying from the needles. You would have expected him to just get like. It's better that he just goes to die because he might just get loads of infection. So, yeah. But anyway, I also do like that we are getting more into Charles Lee Ray's backstory here. Because now this time around we got Charles Lee Ray, who's a teenager, who's pretty much reading these the other orphans Peter Pan, is which is actually so because if you look at Charles Lee right here is like the Peter Pan to these kids Lost Boys, and so of course he ends up leading the pack to this guy that he ends up killing, and the guy he ends up killing is literally the janitor who became a little bit of addiction to Charles Lee. And of course he pretty much calls him Captain Hook, which I thought was really funny right there. Then of course all the kids left except for one kid who actually stood there, and this was a little twist that I didn't even see coming. But it turns out that kid that ends up staying around is actually Eddie Caputo. And if you guys don't recognize the name Eddie Caputo, he was actually Charles Lee Ray's partner in the original Child's Play, who of course ends up abandoning Charles Lee Ray at the toy shop, and Charles ends up saying, "I'm gonna get you, and I'm gonna get Eddie," and of course he ends up killing Eddie as the form of Chucky. I was like, I would not even expect that we will ever hear Eddie Caputo again. So. I mean, this definitely is really intriguing because if you now look at the first Child's Play, he pretty much killed his childhood friend now. Because Eddie Caputo was, of course, Charles Lee Ray's childhood friend. So I find that to be really interesting. And of course, and so, yeah, I mean, and we, of course, get to, Dion's place, and he's actually searching up, pretty much searching up about the Chucky homicides, and he has to find some really intriguing stuff in here, and he even finds some stuff about Tiffany, some stuff about Nika. So yeah, I mean this episode, man, this episode turned out awesome. I mean, and I also like how the ending scene, where Chucky is like pulling Caroline's not essential cord. That thing that puts in the hospital bed. I always keep forgetting what it's called. But he of course takes out that essential cord thing or life alert thing, I guess, and to pretty much have lots of people go into the hospital and find out that and pretty much finds the detected body. Then when Jake and the other two are looking at Chucky, he just comes up and literally gives him the finger. I mean, Chucky and his middle finger. I mean, we've seen Chucky use his middle finger so many times. Brian Chucky, he pretty much gave the finger to Britney Spears to see of Chucky. Loads of other. I mean, yeah, he just I think the only film he never really uses, he never gave the finger to, will probably be Curse of Chucky. So yeah, I mean, he just loves giving his finger to people. But anyway. Now, of course, looks like next episode we are going to be getting Tiffany and Nika back. Maybe we'll be getting Andy back. They didn't really showcase Andy in the spot, but maybe we'll see him come back. That would be cool to watch. But yeah, this show is getting so good. I mean, I'm really digging it. So yeah, if you have not seen the new episode of Chucky, you can find it on the USA and Sci-Fi app. Give it a go. You'll like it, or you might not like it. Either way. Anyway, let me leave you guys. What did you thought of Chucky episode 4? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for one notification. This is Simmer signing out.